Hi, I'm Donovan. Welcome to Gym Fit 50. In this video, my wife or health coach is going to talk about a Dutch test and blood work. And then we're also going to look at some behind the scenes from a mixed martial arts video that we shot. I have, my health coach is my wife, Veronique, and we have her in the studio. And we have been talking about, we talked about the Oligo scan, we talked about amino acids, and today we're going to be talking about blood work and the Dutch test.
So the reason I thought it would be a good idea to talk about the Dutch test and blood work together is because a lot of times people come to us because they just are not feeling like themselves, typically between 30 and 55. And the first thought is, okay, so what are your hormones doing? Typically around that time, if you're a woman, you're definitely heading towards perimenopause, menopause. And if you're a guy, don't know what's happening with your hormones either. So there is a beautiful test called the Dutch test. It is a dried urine test with comprehensive hormones. So basically what you do is you take a little piece of paper and you pee on it whenever it tells you to. You send in the dried paper and then they are able to analyze it. Now, when it comes metabolized through your urine, it is a completely different result as if it would come through the blood. So a lot of times people say, well, I had this blood work done for this hormone, and they do the Dutch test and it is a little bit of a different answer, right? So the Dutch test shows your estrogen, your progesterone, testosterone, cortisol, cortisone, which is how that's being metabolized. It also touches on your HPA axis, how you're doing with that, as well as your methylation. So it covers quite a bit, shows where you're at, which is very helpful when it comes to next steps, because if you're wanting to help your hormones, obviously you want to fine tune those and you want to know what you should be taking and what you shouldn't be taking. So that's really, really helpful. In other cases, people will come to us with a variety. The symptoms people have is just a variety of symptoms, and we don't exactly know what's going on. Typically, Kelsey will suggest various blood tests to run that.
So for those of you who don't know Kelsey, she works with Veronique.
I work with Kelsey. Kelsey is my partner in crime. She has a wellness center called Engedi Wellness. So typically, Kelsey will run a variety of blood work depending on symptoms. We can't just say it's a panel of this, it's all depending on symptoms. But obviously the CBC, CMP, NMRs, sometimes doing the spike protein blood work has been really, really helpful for people who are wanting to do spike protein detoxes. There's just a variety, and it just depends on what your symptoms are and what your goal is, obviously.
So this Dutch test thing, so is it for guys and girls?
Yes, which is a beautiful thing. It shows, a lot of times people would think, well, it's for girls because it shows the estrogen and progesterone, but our entire body runs on communication on our cell membrane. That communication system is our hormonal system. Insulin, testosterone, progesterone, estrogen. And these communicate with each other from the time, every moment of every day. So would you have estrogen? Do you have testosterone? But a lot of times people think that it's just for women because it's hormonal. But I think a lot of guys struggle with hormonal issues too, especially when it comes to eating the kinds of foods that have fake estrogen in them. And then all of a sudden the guy's estrogen levels are a little higher, makes them feel a little not like themselves. And that's the beauty of this test. So there is one estrogen that if you are too high in, it can lead to breast cancer or cervical cancer. And that's why this test is so amazing, because when you see that those levels are too high, you can start to do an estrogen detox and bring that toxic estrogen down and get yourself out of the red zone for potential cancers.
Once again, this is quite fascinating, and there's so much more that can be said. So Once again, if you are wanting to book a consultation with Veronique, I'll have a link in the description as well. If you want to book something with me, I'll have a link in the description. And something I think we're going to talk about in the next video is perimenopause and menopause. So stay tuned.
Get in! Hey, we're cool. We're cool.
Perfect.
Do another dry run.
Let's just see how it works. Okay, recording.
Doesn't look like Santa
Let's
Claus.
go. Oh, that's convincing.
Yeah,
You think Stacey good?
really good.
Money.
Good job for a 4 foot tall munchkin.
No.
Most
What do you think I should
impressive.
say?
I was
don't
gonna
know.
say,
Like,
so what do you
get in your
say?
cup, like,
You can say, I really want your car. It's sweet or something.
Is that a Subaru Forester?
That car's sweet.
So I know some of you are seeing this video and you are thinking that's not really going to work. Think about a real life situation though, because hindsight is always 20/20, and we are looking at that video and we know what was going to happen. I mean, you could see the outcome. I mean, the whole thing obviously was staged, but it does create a realistic environment. And the thing that one needs to remember is that the attacker does not know that you know something. And so we need to look at it with those kind of eyes. And when we're practicing self-defense, it's important to think of that. Like, we've had people come to our class. Like, there was this one guy who showed up quite a while ago. I mean, this guy he was juiced up on a lot of stuff. I mean, steroids being one of the very few. And there was a particular hand, like a gun removal technique that I did on him. And he could not believe his eyes that I'd actually disarmed him in literally probably half a second. And he wanted me to show him over and over and again because he could not believe how that was possible. And he even intensified his grip as well. And I still removed it from him. Don't look at these videos, and don't when you watch things online and when you listen to what I'm saying, don't think, well, that's not going to work. The attacker does not know that you know something. We are not advertising the fact. We're not going to pull out a video and go, hey, this is what I know. Before I go any further, I got to tell you something a little funny. When we have been doing some of these classes, and even I, when I was learning and when I see new students come in and I'm maybe training them, then when they get stuck, they stop. And that's happened to me too. And maybe if you train, that's happened to you as well. You're learning a new technique or you're learning something for the first time and you're doing something, you're going through the motions, you get halfway through and then you stuck. You stop because you don't know what to do. We try to explain to the students, you just need to keep going, because in a real life situation, you can't exactly tell the attacker, just hold it there. I just need to review my self-defense technique. Anyway, it probably was a lot funnier when it was in studio, so forgive me. Anyway, that being said, these things they do work in the outside world. I have actually seen it. There was a video that I saw. If I can find it, I will include it in this, but I was watching a lot last week, and unfortunately, I didn't bookmark some of these videos, but there were some techniques similar to what we use where a guy actually was running at someone else with a knife, and he did a block, and he struck this guy. I mean, I'm not sure I think he hit him with a fist, which I'm not a fan of, because of course you can, break all these bones, sprain your wrist, break your wrist, all that kind of stuff. So, and I mean, he took this guy out. He knocked this guy clean out. So it does work. So if that has been one of the reasons that you have thought, well, I don't want to do it because it's not going to work in a real life situation, don't let that stop you. Go and train, because you will be surprised at what you learn, and you'll be surprised at how you feel. It's really worth it. So don't stop there. Keep going. So I hope you enjoyed this video. The information about the Dutch test and the blood work, I mean, wasn't that fascinating? Wow. And also some of that behind the scenes with the self-defense and some of those little quick, insights that I gave you. So coming up in the next video, my health coach will be talking about perimenopause and menopause.
Way back in the day, this was known as the change. No one spoke about it. You knew mom went through it, you knew granny's been through it, but no one talked about it.
So you're not going to want to miss out on that. So stay tuned for the next video. And also, if you've got some comments, some insights, leave them in the comment section. Let me know what you're thinking thus far. Let me know what you're doing. Also, I'm going to give an update soon about my 6x6 program that I'm busy doing. I'm actually really enjoying it. Are you guys doing that? Let me know. Until next time, see you then.